Welcome to the Probably Soccer podcast, where we probably talk about soccer. My name's Eddie,
And my name's Justin.
and we are your hosts. We're two buddies who are getting into American soccer, wanting to document it, and today we've got an exciting episode. We'll be talking about a midweek and Saturday MLS doubleheader. Lots of actions, lots of goals, lots of ties. It's great. Justin will hop on his soapbox, apologizing to the San Jose Earthquakes. And finally, we will end by having a discussion around the USL Super League Playoff race. Very exciting. It's going to be an incredible episode. Thank you for joining. This is Probably Soccer. Well, Justin, how we doing?
Dude, we're doing great. We have been off a couple weeks, but we've had some crazy MLS games in the last week. We've had the USL Championship group start. I mean, it has been really fun. Really fun. Don't forget about USL Super League. I know we're going to touch on that, but dude, the soccer's been great. I mean, how about your boys over there in DC?
You know, we are fired up. Yesterday, big win over Orlando City, 90th minute winner, absolutely electric. But it's good to be back. It's been like 3 weeks, I guess, at this point. So much has happened. Kickers got their first win of the season finally. We had a lot of USL MLS action go on, and my Rockets are now down 3-0 to Luka-less Los Angeles Lakers. So all is right in my world, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, dude, basketball's doing good because Houston's losing. Football, the draft just ended.
All right.
You know, in classic Cowboys fashion, we drafted a future Hall of Famer, and in classic Houston fashion, you guys drafted some guy whose nickname was Big Red. So,
yeah, and you know what? He's going to put his life on the line for CJ
let's
Stroud.
hope so.
And that's the attitude that I need.
Let's hope so.
But this is not an American football podcast. It's a real football podcast. And I think there's a lot to cover this week, Justin. But this was our first double MLS week, Justin. So I think we should spend some time talking about it because midweek was insane, Justin. I think it was an absolute goal fest. What did you notice from the Wednesday games?
Well, Eddie, it's a Wednesday. We're getting off work.
Yeah.
We're trying to get home. I'm trying to make sure everybody's fed. I'm trying to, find some time to relax. And I look up, and New York and Cincinnati are tied 4-4. Orlando decided they're going to start scoring goals. And those 17-year-olds down there at Red Bull decided they wanted DC United to score 4 on them. So it was a wild Wednesday.
Crazy. Yeah. I was not looking forward to our game against the New Jersey Red Bulls at all. Red Bull New Jersey. And it was just nuts watching it. My heart rate and level of excitement was just up and down, up and down. I thought we lost 4 different times, and we ended up getting a draw. And we literally, shout out to my GOAT, Ty Baribo, getting a hat trick on Wednesday. And we literally doubled the amount of goals that we have scored this season on Wednesday night. And then we scored 3 on Saturday. So this week, DC United have scored 7 times, and that's about 7 more times than they did the first 7 match weeks of the season. So I'm pretty fired up about it. But everyone always says, Justin. Everyone always says, "Oh, I can't really watch soccer. All these games, like, they don't really score." Watch an MLS Wednesday night.
I guess so.
I mean, it was absolute goal fest. And I'm already looking forward to the next midweek MLS action because hopefully we get another absolute, banger
right.
of a Wednesday. Like, it was just nuts. And I just, one more observation on my end. From both midweek and Saturday. DC United back? Question mark.
I
Don't say it just yet. Don't say it just yet.
I was actually looking through our text messages while you were talking, and the first thing you texted me on Wednesday was, "God, I hate being a DC United fan." And the last thing you texted
That's probably when we went down 3-1.
the last thing you texted me on Wednesday was, "Oh my goodness, what is happening? What a game!" So that's how you know it was a good game. Dude, I think we had talked about it on Tuesday or Monday, but I was like, "Hey, are you excited to get smoked 5-0 by the Red Bulls today?" And you kind of agreed. But man, what a game! Absolute
Yeah,
banger.
yeah, and it distracted me from NYCFC going
Yeah.
4-4, and then freaking Toronto and Philly.
What a game!
Bro, bro, at the end of the stoppage time was like, "Oh, let me go up to the goal and little set piece action," and bro said, "Boom." Right into the goal to tie the game and steal 2 points away from that god awful team up in Philadelphia, and what a way to do it. And I was before I went into the city yesterday for the United game. I purposely watched Toronto and Atlanta, which Atlanta finally won a game. That's another one. That's good for the morale, good for a team that has been struggling so far this season and end of last season. But it was just funny when they got to the end of the game, seeing every time there was a corner or a free kick or throw in, bro was booking it to to try and help out and see if maybe he could cause a little more action yesterday. So it's been an insane week in the MLS. What else did you notice, if anything?
Well, man, Eddie, I think I owe some apologies. I might need to hop on my soapbox real quick.
Oh, ring, ring. Justin, hop on that
I
soapbox.
think I'm gonna have to, and I say this reluctantly, right? And when you hop on a soapbox, you're trying to get a point across to a group of individuals or somebody you're talking to, and that's exactly what I'm planning on doing today. But the person I am talking
Yep.
to is myself, and I'm gonna tell myself I need to say sorry to the San Jose Earthquakes.
Mm.
I think when we started this, coming into the soccer, we think about a small market team. All the U.S. has, we have these big market teams, we have these small market teams, right? And you're like you were talking about, we see the Lakers in Houston in the playoffs, right? We see in football, I mean, Seattle, I mean, that's like the smallest market team that's won the Super Bowl here lately. So
Yeah.
we have all these big market teams. When I think about San Jose, I'm just thinking, well, small market. They probably don't have a lot going on. Boy, was I wrong. They have been on an absolute tear. And I believe the only game they've lost is to Seattle, and it was only by 1-0. But everybody else, I don't know what they have.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're drinking down there in San Jose. I don't know if it's water or something else, but they need to keep drinking it. And I was looking at the stats this week, and in
Mm-hmm.
preparation for me to get on my soapbox. And I was like, what is making them so good? What is making them excel at this pace? And at first I thought, okay, maybe they're just really good at controlling the ball. Maybe it's possession. They don't even dominate in possession. Actually, like I think it's 7 out of their last 10 games, they haven't even like
Mm.
they don't even have the advantage in possession. So it's not that. And possession is not everything, but it seems to be, especially in the American soccer landscape, that when you have possession, when you have control of the game, that usually is a dominating factor. They don't have that. And actually, their highest possession game was against the Seattle Sounders, where they lost.
Mm.
But in every other game where they're 3-0, 2-0, 3-1, 1-0, 2-1, 3-0, 2-1, 1-0, it's not possession. But what you'll notice about that is I just said a lot of zeros.
Yeah.
And the MVP of this team, and dare I say it, why isn't he the best player available on any squad at an 84.6% save rate? Leading the league, I shall say, is Danielle, who's absolutely dominating the goalie position. Absolute dominance. And what I had to say from all of that is my original point. San Jose, from here at Probably Soccer, we're saying sorry. We didn't know, we weren't familiar with your game, but we are now. Eddie, what do you think? I think you're in the same boat as I am. I'll take the sword, but I think you're think you're in a similar boat.
so so while you were on your soapbox, I went back to our preseason probably power rankings, which that episode was actually never released. But stay tuned. Next week we will have our first edition of probably power rankings. And looking at our notes, Justin, can you guess where we had San Jose?
If they weren't last, it was pretty darn close. I guarantee it.
We had them dead last in the Western Conference. No. And literally my notes, I put 3 things because this is like we didn't really know ball about MLS yet. I put ass, signed Timo Werner though.
That's true.
And then I said cool kid. So not only are they proving like the first observation there wrong, they're doing it all in that really cool Grateful Dead kit, which I very much so appreciate. And so Justin, as you represent Probably Soccer today as the elder one, and here at the Probably Soccer podcast, we believe in reconciliation. And so San Jose, please forgive us, for we have doubted you.
But we won't anymore.
And yeah, we won't anymore. You've put me on alert. You've put Justin on alert. We're gonna be locked in. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll get some more screen time from for the Earthquakes. Which I love that they're the Earthquakes. It's not just San Jose FC.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's so awesome. Yeah, and I think like they're not beating like bad teams. Like sure, 2-0 Atlanta, but I mean, they've beat Austin FC twice in this, and depending on how you feel about Austin FC, but they're a consistently good team. They beat Vancouver on this run. They beat San Diego FC 3-0. They beat LAFC 1-0. So like, these isn't just happening against like Real Salt Lake, or if St. Louis ever wants to score a goal,
or DC United.
Well, I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah.
Or FC Dallas, like.
So no, FC Dallas is good. All right.
Sorry, we're just
have you met the Moose?
Just chirping.
Anyway.
I have actually scored right in front of me. So
how many times?
I have met the
How many
Moose.
times did you score right in front of you?
I think it was once that game, thankfully. But yes, that concludes the soapbox for this week. San Jose, we're sorry. Justin, there's something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. I've talked about it a little bit on this pod. You know, we went to the Trinity game, talked about how I go to the DC Power games for my last soapbox, and I think it's time that you know, we've been focusing a lot on men's USL and MLS, and I think it's time that we dive into Super League. They've got a crazy playoff race right now for the 4th spot. Justin, how closely have you been following
that? Eddie, you've been my main news source. I'm actually surprised more people aren't covering it. And we have this, like, we have a seek of importance into this because, you know, the Power, your team, Trinity are my team. But this is like, with it being such a tight race, you would think, like, just for the love of sports, you'd be seeing more people talk about this.
Yeah, that was going to be my first observation is I feel like between, like, the accounts I follow both on the Probably Soccer Instagram and my personal Instagram, go follow us at Probably Soccer Pod. I feel like I haven't seen it as much as I should of just how close this race is. So for those who don't know, in the Super League, it's a 9-team league, and the top 4 teams make it to the playoffs, and it's a simple win 2 games, you're the champion. And so the top 3 teams have clinched like last week, confirmed. So you got Sporting Jacks, you've got Lexington, and Carolina Ascent. But that 4th spot is wide open. We've got a really cool race between Dallas, DC, Spokane, and Brooklyn's still kind of in it. I have my doubts on them getting into that 4th spot. They would have to win out, and everyone else would have to lose like every game. But they're only 7 points out with 3 games to go in the season, so there's a possibility. But so as I mentioned, I've been to some DC Power FC games. Really fun. It's at Audi Field, an impressive stadium, and they have a really solid team. Pretty ups and downs. It's been fun to follow them. So I've been following it pretty closely, just looking at where they are on the table, and then probably about 2 months ago I was like, oh, there's a chance that they could get that 4th spot, but they kept losing. The Trinity would win and then lose like 3 games in a row, so like we went down 6 points, but then we caught up to the Trinity, and yesterday the Trinity drew with Brooklyn. So as it stands right now, the 4th spot you've got the Dallas Trinity. They have 33 points, and they've got a -10 goal differential, which is insane. That they're in 4th. DC Power in 5th with 32 points, and they have the best goal differential of 4, thanks to their win over Fort Lauderdale this past, I guess, last Wednesday, winning 4-0, helped out their goal differential. And then you got Spokane with 29 points, and let it be known, Spokane play tonight. They play Fort Lauderdale tonight, who is 8th in the league, I believe. So if they win, that could help them going into the last 3 games of the season. So it is genuinely really heating up. And there's a huge matchup this Friday, Justin, between our teams. Who knew that we would get a probably soccer derby so quick? Again, after the last one. DC Power versus Dallas Trinity. And the Power need to either win or tie, and they'll be in that 4th spot because they've got the goal differential up on the Trinity. Also, it's really funny that I think the way you crop it, you can't see the Trinity scarf, but I do have a Trinity scarf, and I do not own any Power merch because they don't really sell much at the games. Otherwise, I would probably have one. Probably this summer, I'm gonna end up copying a kit, but they don't have scarves, and so I haven't been able to get one. So that's why we've got the Trinity scarf. But I am, let it be known, my team is DC Power. But that game is going to be huge for the playoff implications. And then also to finish the season, DC plays Spokane in Spokane. And so if things align, literally like that last, I think it's the last game I think it's a game during the last weekend, or I think next to last, actually, one of those. That game literally could decide who gets that 4th spot.
Right.
So it's like insane coming down to the wire, and it's like the closest we'll probably get to this past season, like in NFL NFC, is it East with the no, NFC South with like the Bucks and the Panthers and the Saints.
How close it was.
Yeah, when it literally came down to the last day, and I think it would be really interesting to watch. And of course, I have a wedding that Saturday to go to, so we might have to hit a little, have the phone open and tune in to see what happens. But also, it's a pretty late game since it's in Spokane, so who knows? But so Justin, I'm gonna point out to you just each team's like kind of last 3 games, and I think I sent you the table as well, and then we can I'd be interested to get your thoughts on who do you think has like the best path to make the playoffs, like who has like the easiest path, who has like a harder path, and what matchups you're most excited for, and I'll also take some of that. So Dallas, they're in 4th right now. Their last 3 is this Friday against DC, and then they play Tampa Bay, who is officially eliminated from playoff contention, in 9th, and then they play Fort Lauderdale, who is in 8th. So pretty easy. And then DC play Dallas on Friday, and then they play Sporting Jacks, who I think is top of the table right now, and then they're
number 1.
And then they play Spokane to finish the season. And then Spokane plays Fort Lauderdale tonight. So whenever this episode's posted, we'll have those results. So keep in mind, could be a little different there. Then they play Lexington, who is towards the top of the table, clinch their spot. and then they play DC, and then they finish the season against Brooklyn. And again, Brooklyn is still technically in the race, so who knows? Maybe they go on a tear to finish the season, and all these teams lose, and Brooklyn gets that 4th spot. But again, I doubt that, but we'll see. Looking at those matchups, hearing those, Justin, from what you know about Super League, and from my teaching to you, passing on the wisdom, who do you think has the easiest path to the most likely path to get that 4th spot?
Yeah, when you look at the table, it would be a clear Dallas, right? With the last 3 they're playing, if they beat DC, which would be the only one in contention there, then they're playing the last team in the league and the second to last team in the league. Yeah. So in theory, Dallas should have this locked up. This shouldn't even be a fight. You beat DC on Friday, you're done. You're set. You're in the playoff. That being said, the DC Trinity or the Dallas Trinity, if I had to compare them to any, the name that keeps popping into my head is they are like Tim Hardaway Jr. And if you watch basketball at all, you know that on any given night, Tim Hardaway Jr. is either the single worst player on the court,
yes,
or he's dropping 50 points. That's kind of how this Dallas Trinity is. They're like super streaky. They're either going to score, like outscore the opponent, we're going to shut them down, clean sheet, the whole 9, or we're losing 3-0 the other way. And there's no rhyme or reason about it.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, but even though DC has the harder schedule, and I don't want to say this, I think DC Power not only probably have a better chance of making this playoff because they're more consistent, they have a better chance of maybe like advancing a little farther in this playoff, maybe making it to that championship game. Not cheering for them, but I wouldn't be mad to see it.
Yeah,
so
I agree. This team, after the winter signings that they had, bringing in people like I'm blanking on her name, but she's been going off. She scored this last game, pulled out the Spider-Man mask, which was so electric. Alyssa Walker. She's been on point.
Yeah.
I think Gianna Gorley is still injured, but might come back. She's insane. And then Loza Ibarra keeps going off. It's insane. And this team, when they are on, they are on. But when they are off, they are really off. And so they can't. Weirdly, they can't really win at home. So I'm a little scared about the Dallas game. But also Dallas, if they're off on Friday,
they can't win away.
Yeah, if they're off on Friday, they're not winning that game. So on paper, I agree that Dallas has the easiest path. They literally just have to win out, and they're get that 4th spot. Don't sleep on Spokane though. We'll see. I think they've got the hardest path to get that 4th spot because they are a little behind point wise right now. But I mean, they beat Fort Lauderdale tonight. Maybe they'll lose to Lexington. If they beat the Power and Brooklyn, they could sneak in to that 4th spot. So it'll be interesting to see. I am very excited to follow this race, almost just as much as I am excited following the relegation battle in the Premier League, seeing hopefully the Tottenham Hotspurs go down.
Let's hope.
Sorry to any Spurs fans out there. But yeah, my plea to you, if you enjoy American soccer, if you like watching women's soccer specifically, one, watch the Super League. It's literally all on Peacock. So I mean, if you watch the Premier League, you have Peacock. You can watch USL Super League just as easy. And, if you have it for MLB, if you have it for NBA, all the sports are on there now, including USL Super League. So it's super easy to watch. Tune in. Yep. This is going to be an insane finish for 4th place. And hopefully it's not just a competition to see who's going to lose to Sporting Jacks by 4 in that first game in the playoffs. But the race to get that last spot is going to be absolutely insane. So I urge you, I plead you to tune in. And so I think final pick, Justin, the DC Power FC are going to get that final spot. Who do you think's going to get that final spot?
I mean, I'm going for my ladies down here in D-Town. I mean, I need that. Dallas. Let's just win out. Let's just make it easy. But we'll see what happens. It'll be a tight race. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. All Dallas has to do is win out, so it'll be
Right.
It'll be definitely interesting to watch. Justin, we've been off for a few weeks, but this is where we toss in. Here's how things stand for our game picks from the few weeks. I think we did 2 weeks of picking games, picking winners. I think we're tied pretty much, like both like two and two, something like that.
Yep.
But I've got 3 pretty solid matches on deck for us. So I wanted to get your opinion. I'll give my opinion, and then at the end of the day, we'll make a fun brain rot reel to make it all worth it, to put a nice little wrap bow on it. And so in USL League 1 this weekend, we've got a very exciting matchup. We're a few weeks in now, so the table's starting to take shape. But we've got Naples versus Knoxville, which is a 1 versus 2 on the table matchup. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, please. I'm very excited about this matchup. And so, Justin, who is your pick for that game?
You are correct on the table there. It is 1v2. I mean, this one's hard. They've both played extremely well. I've actually gotten to watch a couple Naples games, and that's probably where I'm going to be leaning. So those guys are really fast. They use their speed to their advantage.
It's crazy how fast they are.
I'm sure as a DC United fan, you're not loving one Knoxville right now, but I think I gotta go Naples, but I think it's gonna be tight. I think I go 2-1.
Nice. Correct that Knoxville is on my hit list. Maybe that's not the right word. Don't cancel me. I'm not trying to kill the guys on the team. They're on my, just teams that, that every time I watch them play, I'm going to think about maybe one of the worst losses in DC United history. I'm still learning the history, so I don't know. But because of that, I got to watch them play live. And obviously, they've got some fire under them. And so I'm going to go with a draw. And I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw between Naples and Knoxville. That's my final pick. Moving over to MLS, Justin. Got a really fun matchup between 2 teams. One team that we really enjoy, one team that we're kind of on, but I enjoy watching them play. We've got San Diego FC, which has been on a little bit of a slide the past few weeks, versus Los Angeles FC. Who's your pick?
Yeah, if you would have asked me this like 1 week in, 2 weeks in, but I didn't know anything when I was a wee little boy, I would tell you that San Diego FC has a chance here. I don't think this LAFC team is so good. It's so good, and San Diego, they've got something going on. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's just they've got a lot. I really can't pinpoint what's going on with them, but I'm gonna ride the LAFC wave as long as I can. Heck, if I get the score right, do I get an extra point?
Yes.
Well, let's go 3. I think it's 3-0 LAFC. I don't think they stand a chance. This team's too good, and San Diego's not playing well enough.
San Diego, yes, on a slide. They're still our boys. We enjoy watching them.
Absolutely.
But I think after a few weeks of just really bad results, I think they'll bounce back. So call me crazy, but I'm going 2-1 San Diego. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. Or am I a genius? We'll find out in the brain rot reel. I will definitely be tuning in for that game. There's no DC United home game this week, so I'll actually be able to lock in on the games, which will be fun. And so last game, we just talked about a lot the significance of it and a huge part of the USL Super League playoff race. But Justin, I think it's time that we make our picks officially between the Dallas Trinity and DC Power FC, which is this Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Fantastic. And since I know that I get an extra point if I get the score right, Dallas Trinity by 1 million. 1,000,000-0.
1 million's crazy. How many goals is that per second?
No, we can do it.
I don't. That's
I have
probably
faith.
a lot.
No, they can do it.
Again, like I was saying earlier, if DC Power is on, they are going to be really on. If they're off, they're going to be really off. And so this is a game between two teams that are either really on or really off. And so if both teams are really on, this could be a slaughter. If both teams are really off, I could be like, wow, I could have gone home and watched this at home. But I'm going, not surprisingly, I'm going with DC Power FC, and they are going to win this game 3-2 is my guess. It's going to be 3-2. It's going to be Loza Barra Brace, Alyssa Walker for the third one. And the Trinity will just be really fun to watch. I think they drew in DC last time. I was at that game. I should remember. And so I think it's just going to be close to a bloodbath, and it's going to be 3-2. Final answer.
Yeah, I think
no million on my
I think
end.
it'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be a really fun game.
By 1 million.
By 1.
Yeah. It'll be a good game.
All right, Justin, that'll do it, I think, for today's episode. Thanks, everyone, for watching and or listening. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Probably Soccer Pod. I'm Eddie. That's Justin. Justin, what's the final word?
Everybody go watch some soccer. We need to be I think if we just get more eyes on soccer, we'll realize it's everything it says it is. It's doing great. So go watch a soccer game this week.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's have a great week, everybody. Thanks for listening.